I'm going to talk to you now about vocational information and some things related to the community reintegration. So about returning to work or to school. Some people following their rehabilitation stay, both inpatient and outpatient, are able to return to their previous job or to the school community. Your physician will be able to medically release you to return to work when you're able to do that physically. For those patients who cannot return to work, Magee, like some other facilities, have outpatient vocational programs that can assist you with trying to set some realistic vocational or school and educational goals for yourself. That might include taking a vocational evaluation or looking at some school testing in order to determine what your interests and your capabilities are at this time. Each state has an Office of Vocational Rehabilitation. In Pennsylvania, it's known as OVR, or Office of Voc Rehab. In New Jersey, it's known as DVR, or Division of Voc Rehab. In another state, it might be BVR, or Bureau of Voc Rehab. But they're all state-supported agencies who are available to pay for things that are related to returning to work or school. Their goal is to help you to get back into the work community so that you can pay taxes again. They might be able to support you with things such as neuropsychological or vocational evaluations that I just referred to. They might supply you things like job coaching, job placement assistance, sometimes even tuition assistance for school, sometimes a driving evaluation, or they might even be able to support some supplemental equipment that will help you in your work or school environment. High school students can receive assistance to coordinate homebound instruction while they're at home as well. At Magee, we have an adolescent and young adult coordinator whose responsibility is to work with that age group, anywhere between 14 and 21 years old, who may be attending school, whether that be in high school or college, and helping to connect you with those services and see where you stand and what you're going to need in the future. And figuring that out not only while someone is an inpatient here at Magee, but also connecting you back with those services when you get back into your own community. That person will be able to follow you through that outpatient phase and that time, and also give you information in relation to federal and state laws that would apply to you now with a disability. Social Security also has some work incentive programs that will allow you to return to work and to continue to collect some of your Social Security benefits. That's always been an issue for people, is to how they can maintain benefits at the same time, work their way back into the workforce and not lose their benefits. Other important issues in relation to returning to work or school have to do with the accessibility or the physical structure, the architecture of the place where you want to go to, and also transportation needs in order to get back and forth from there. Those are sometimes the impediments, whether it's your house accessibility or the school or workplace accessibility, and obviously transportation special needs that may delay the reintegration back into those communities. However, those are things that can certainly be worked on for a long-term use. One other thing that leads us to talk about is the issue of driving itself. Most people want to know, will I be able to go back to driving? And of course, it really depends on what your physical capacity is going to be. Many people come up with supplemental transportation means of someone driving them, whether that be a van, an adapted van, or public transportation, or specific services that are available for persons with physical disabilities. And some people are very capable to go back to driving eventually. Of course, it depends on resources to be able to get an adapted type vehicle. The ability to drive is really dependent on that individual, your individual physical and cognitive functions, and those things will need to be retested. The decision to allow someone to return to driving will be made with the input of the person's physician. You should know that while you're an inpatient at Magee Rehabilitation, by law, our physicians are required to send a letter of notification to the Department of Transportation of the state where your residence is or your driver's license is, in order to let them know that you have recently incurred a disability which may affect your capacity to drive. Therefore, when they do clear you to go back to driving, at some point in the follow-up phase after rehabilitation is over, or in the long term, then you will be required to contact your Department of Transportation and find out what the specific requirements will be for you in that state for revalidating your driver's license. And then there are plenty of programs that we can refer people to for driving evaluations and certainly adapted driving training in order to meet the needs that you would in order to be able to take another driving test. So our hope is that you will be back out in the community.